Before the world knew fear, the sky was still perfect. A single spark was enough to give birth to the stars, then to a small blue planet, pure and silent. From invisible heights, legions of beings of light stood watch. Their wings burned without being consumed. Their eyes held eternity. One day, some turned their gaze away. They stared too long at the daughters of men who laughed by the riverbanks, who danced beneath the moon, whose beauty was a fire no angel should ever approach. A shudder ran through the heavenly ranks. A forbidden desire ignited, impossible to extinguish. 200 of them, led by some Jaza, gathered on the snow-covered summit of Mount Hermon. They reached out to one another and swore together. The pact was sealed in a white flash that split the sky. That day, the Nephilim were born, children of angels and flesh, giants destined to make the earth tremble and to make it bleed. Heaven held its breath. The fall had begun. The wind howled across Mount Hermon, so high that the snow seemed to burn. Some Jaza stood at the edge of the precipice, a towering silhouette against the black sky. Around him, 200 angels drew closer in silence. Their armor of light was already flickering. Some Jaza raised his hand. The wind fell silent. A single glance was enough. They all understood that the point of no return had been reached. He spoke in a low voice, almost a whisper. Another angel answered, his voice trembling with anger and desire. A third cut the debate short with a single sharp word. Then their hands joined. 200 hands formed a circle of pale fire. The oath was spoken in unison, no shout, no outburst, just a murmur that made the mountain shake. The instant the pact was sealed, the sky tore open. 200 living comets ripped themselves from the stars. They fell screaming, trailing flames and ashes. The earth shook when they struck the ground. Smoking craters opened. Colossal figures rose, still haloed in dying light. Some Jaza set foot on the scorched stone. For the last time, he raised his eyes to the sky that had rejected him. A bitter smile brushed his lips. Return was now impossible. The angels had become flesh, and the earth would pay the price. The fallen angels struck the ground like living meteors, their once pure forms transformed into burning flesh. They walked among men taller, more beautiful, impossible to ignore. The daughters of men saw them coming. They lifted their eyes to these giants descended from the heavens. Their hearts beat faster. The fascination was immediate, irresistible. Some Jaza chose the first. Others followed, drawn to the fragile beauty of mortal women. The unions were forged in the shadows of forests, by the banks of shimmering rivers. Whispered promises, embraces that defied the laws of heaven. From these unions came children, not ordinary children. They grew at a terrifying speed. Barely born, they already howled like storms. At the age when humans were learning to walk, they already stood as tall as trees. Their eyes glowed like embers. Their bodies stretched, immense, blocking out the sun. Strength flowed through their veins like liquid fire. They were the Nephilim, half divine, half mortal. Giants born to dominate. At first, their hunger was simple. They devoured the fruits of the fields, the beasts of the forests. But the appetite grew. Nothing was enough anymore. They turned to men themselves. Villages trembled. The cries of the innocent rose toward heaven. The earth drank the blood, but it did not forget. Some Jaza watched his children grow. A mixture of pride and horror coursed through him. The pact had created monsters, and the world would never be the same again. Nephilim became kings before they even reached adulthood. They strode like living mountains, crushing everything in their path. Men, terrified, fell to their knees and called them gods. The fallen angels, drunk on their own power, revealed the secrets of heaven. Asael taught the working of iron and bronze. Forges blazed day and night. Swords, shields, and spears were born in fire. War became an art. Others revealed black astrology, herbs that kill or intoxicate, formulas that bend souls. Magic flowed into human veins like a sweet poison. Cities rose tall and proud, towers of black stone, columns crowned with eternal flames. In the streets, people danced until dawn. Wine flowed like rivers. Bodies intertwined without shame. The giants ruled through terror. When hunger returned, stronger than ever, they tore the gates from cities, took whatever they wanted, and left behind burning villages and fields of corpses. The blood of the innocent soaked the earth. The earth screamed. The heavens veiled themselves in black clouds. The very air stank of death and blasphemy. From the summit of a temple he had built himself, Samjaza gazed at the blood-red horizon. He saw his children turned into tyrants. He saw men become slaves to their own desires, and for the first time, an icy shiver ran down his spine. What they had sown was no longer greatness. It was the end. The earth could no longer bear the weight of the blood. Every drop spilled was a cry that rose to the eternal throne. The groans of the victims filled the air like an invisible storm. In the heights, the silence shattered. A voice older than the stars resounded, slow and inexorable. I have seen. The end of all flesh is determined before me. Only one man still walked upright amid this chaos. Enoch, neither giant nor angel, just a man whose heart still beat in rhythm with heaven. A light enveloped him. He was torn from the earth and carried beyond the clouds, to the places where mountains are made of crystal and rivers of fire. There, he saw the chains prepared in the abyss. There, he heard the final sentence. He descended again, his eyes burning with visions. One last time, he climbed Mount Hermon. The fallen angels awaited him, dark and trembling shapes. Samjaza stepped forward, his voice broken. Intercede for us. Enoch shook his head. The verdict had fallen irrevocable. There will be no more peace for you. Your children will perish before your eyes. You will be bound in darkness until the end of the ages. For the first time, the immortals knew fear. The sky grew even darker. Thunder rolled like a death knell. The countdown had begun. The sky ripped open like an ancient canvas. Legions of fire descended, faster than lightning. Michael at their head, flaming sword, wings spread like suns. Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel behind him, followed by thousands of angels armed with pure light. Below, the Nephilim raised their monstrous heads. Og, the greatest among them, son of Samjaza, stood 20 cubits tall. His voice made the valleys shake when he roared his defiance at the heavens. The giants seized their weapons forged in forbidden fire, spears as long as ship, masts, shields as large as city gates. They formed a living wall of flesh and bronze. Then, the two armies collided. The impact was so violent that the earth split 4 leagues around. Swords of light severed limbs thick as tree trunks. Giant heads rolled in the dust, eyes still full of arrogance. The blood of the Nephilim flowed black and smoking. Og brought his warhammer down on a celestial squadron, crushing 10 angels in a single blow. But Michael descended upon him like lightning. One stroke of his sword severed the giant from his legs. Og collapsed with a roar that brought an entire mountain crashing down. Everywhere, the sons of the angels fell. Some tried to flee toward the seas, others climbed the highest peaks. No refuge. The angels hunted them without mercy, hurling them into the abysses already prepared. Raphael seized Asael by the wings and dragged him into the darkness. Chains of living fire coiled around him, pulling him down into the depths. One by one, the watchers were captured, screaming, begging, cursing. When the last giant fell, silence returned, a silence of death. The earth was littered with colossal corpses. The reign of the Nephilim had ended in fire and blood. Only one man still stood amid the carnage, Noah, and heaven was watching him. One man had not bowed the knee to the giants. Only one man still walked upright in this twisted world. Noah. He was neither king, nor warrior, nor sorcerer. just a man with calloused hands and a pure heart, who spoke every evening with the one the world had forgotten. One evening, the sky opened above his house. A voice vaster than the oceans came down to him. The earth is corrupt. I will wipe everything away. But you, Noah, I have seen you. Build an ark. Go for wood, 300 cubits long, 50 wide, 30 high. 1 window, 1 door. In 7 days, I will make death rain down. Noah did not argue. The next day, the first blows of the axe rang out. His sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth worked it aside. Entire trees fell. Massive beams rose slowly, stubbornly. Around them, the world laughed. The giants still alive drew near, drunk on wine and blood. They mocked the ark growing on dry land. They struck the planks with their gigantic fists, making the structure shake. They danced naked around it, shouting obscenities, promising Noah's sons pleasures no righteous man should ever hear. Noah did not answer. He kept hammering, caulking, praying. Every blow of the hammer was an answer. Every plank laid was an act of faith. Time tightened like a noose. 7 days, not one more. On the first morning, the sky was still blue. The giants held gigantic banquets around the ark. They stacked tables as high as a man, roasted whole oxen, poured wine like rivers. Women with painted bodies danced on the very planks of the ark, mocking Noah and his sons as they loaded the last sacks of grain. On the second day, the animals arrived. First 2 lions, calm as lambs. Then elephants, serpents, eagles, wolves. They came alone or in pairs, walking straight up the ramp without any human hand guiding them. For a second, the crowd stopped laughing, then burst into even louder, more nervous laughter. On the 3rd, 4th, and 5th days, the entire earth seemed to empty of its beasts. A living river converged on the ark. The drunken giants tried to catch, some to roast on the spot. Arrows bounced off their skins. The animals passed between their legs as if they didn't exist. On the 6th day, the wind died. An unnatural silence covered the world. Even the children stopped crying. The giants felt something cold crawl up their spines, but they drowned the fear in one last orgy. On the 7th day at sunrise, Noah and his family walked up the ramp. 8 people, 8 hearts that still beat true. The crowd screamed insults. Some threw stones. Others, already drunk, relieved themselves against the sides of the ark. Then, without any human hand moving, the immense door, tall as 10 men, closed by itself. A deep rumble, which slammed against wood. The heavenly bolt fell. Total silence descended upon the earth. Even the giants fell silent. The wind stopped completely. The clouds gathered, black, heavy, motionless. Somewhere, far away, the first growl of the sky was heard. The 7 days were over. There was no more door, no turning back, no mercy. The sky exploded. They were not drops. They were walls of water that crashed down all at once, as if the entire sea had been overturned onto the earth. At the same instant, the ground split open. The great deep burst forth, spewing black geysers higher than mountains. In minutes, valleys became lakes. In hours, lakes became oceans. Men ran at first, still laughing, thinking it was just a storm. Then the screams began. The giants, those colossi who had called themselves invincible, tried to climb the highest peaks. Og himself, the greatest of them all, scrambled onto the roof of an entire city, roared his rage at the sky, and brandished his spear toward the clouds. The water caught him. A liquid wall 100 cubits high struck him full force. He vanished without a sound, swallowed like a pebble. The other Nephilim swam, fought, their enormous arms cleaving the waves. But the waves were stronger. The water rose and rose, covering the highest ridges, erasing temples, towers, proud cities. The cries became one continuous howl. mothers clutching their children, giants begging for the first time in their lives, hands clawing at the ark's wood, fingernails torn away, faces pressed against the planks, pleading with the door that would never open again. Inside, Noah heard everything, the pounding, the voices calling his name. He wept, but the door remained shut. For 40 days and 40 nights, the water fell without cease. When the rain finally stopped, there was not a single cry left. Not one human voice, not one giant's breath, nothing but the lapping of waves on a dead world. The ark floated alone, a small wooden box in the middle of a shoreless ocean. The silence was heavier than any thunder. The waters lingered another 150 days. An endless ocean, no islands, no life. Then one morning, the wind rose, a wind sent from above, gentle and relentless. The waters began to recede, slowly at first, then like a curtain being drawn back. The mountaintops reappeared, black, bare, washed clean of all blood. The ark groaned. It grounded softly on the flank of an unknown mountain mount, Ararat. The door opened by itself, just as it had closed. Noah stepped out first. His feet touched earth that smelled of rain and newness. Behind him came his wife, his sons, and their wives. 8 survivors. 8 seeds for an entire world. The animals descended next. Lions walked without roaring. Lambs followed without fear. Creation breathed again. Noah gathered still wet stones. He built a simple altar. He placed a lamb upon it. The smoke rose straight, the first pleasing fragrance in centuries. Then, the sky, which had been black for so long, opened in color. A perfect arc stretched across the horizon. 7 bands of pure light, the Creator's signature on the fresh page of the world. And the voice that had pronounced death now spoke the promise. Never again, never again will the waters destroy all flesh. As long as the earth endures seedtime and harvest, cold and heat, day and night shall not cease. The earth was empty, but it was clean, and it waited.